Alrighty guys, welcome back to Walking Productions. Today we are going over the Omniversal series. I'm gonna have to break it up into 2 to 3 parts, maybe 4, and we're gonna have to start from the bottom up and make it like, I'm gonna have the videos about 10 maybe minutes long, so I can be able to upload it, because 20 to 30 minutes I just can't do because of my phone. Otherwise, if I had the software to do longer videos, I would love to, but you know, that's neither here or there. Moving on, let's get into the topic of today's video: explaining the universe in the slim, dim, easy to understand version. I've tried 3 times to do this, and I feel like it's frustrating, but I'm gonna try a final time. Sorry, this is bugging me. And that. Anyway, let's start at the bottom. It'd be bacterial life and gases, elements and stuff like that. That's like the starting point of the universe. And then after the Big Bang made them, we have matter and cosmic forces coming together, and eventually they bring upon something called life. Now, I don't know if you're introduced to this concept. It's relatively new. Moving on. But in all seriousness, life is somewhere on the lower side, because it's only existed for a couple million to maybe if we're generous, 500 billion years. But the universe has existed for far longer, possibly 10 to 6 trillion, somewhere in that area. But still, sorry, I'm on a hike. Like I'm saying, it's probably way older. And so after we get to life, we get to cultural civilizations and the construction of a planet. Now, you may be asking, well, what's the difference? Well, cultural things is what the planet, or what the people do to the planet. Either the planet will fight back with something like the virus that we currently have going on in the pandemic, or it will evolve, in this case humans, to be able to be more suitable for the planet. And then we develop like religion, politics, ideas, cultural designs, art, etc. Okay, then we move on to the planetary construction, which is basically grass, trees, water, etc. Air, sunlight. Well, the things that let the sun come in and not kill us. That. But aside from that, we move on to a higher scale, which would be planets. Planets are what you live on. Okay, they're an orb of rock or orb of gas floating about in the cosmos, and they are either suitable for life or just exist to be existing. Or if you believe in aliens, they're for alien life. Cool. They're for bacteria, for plants, or whatever. Basically, planets have an endless potential possibility. It's only the inhabitants that can screw it up. And maybe the planet could blow up itself because being so old, everything dies. I mean, that's the concept. Moving on, we go into a solar system, which is either a big planet with gravitational pull on a bunch of planets and stars, or a star with a pull on planets and possibly other stars. We have 9-ish planets in our solar system rotating the star, and a bunch of moons and stuff like that. It's really just solar systems are just a cluster of things, but it's infinitesimally small in comparison to the big picture, which we go into a higher scale, galaxies, or multi-solar system, which is a combination of a bunch of solar systems and things like that. The Milky Way could be considered multi-solar system, which could also be galaxy, which, by the way, I am not a science expert. I'm not an expert on any of this. I'm going by what I know and what was stated by what I've learned over the course of existing. Moving on, we go to galaxies. Galaxies are like the Milky Way. They're a big, astronomically huge portion of what makes up the universe, and they consist of solar systems, not galaxies, cosmic rays, black holes, supernovas, other stars, etc. And they're like billions, trillions of miles apart by human standards. It would take 2 years for us to reach the moon by car. My dad used to tell me, like from Earth. It would take us 2 years constantly driving to the moon. That it's insane, and that's just the moon. Think about like getting to the sun and not dying in it. Anyway, moving on. We go to multi-galaxy. Well, multi-galaxy is basically a cluster of galaxies. And then, my dear viewer, we get on to something higher than that, but not exactly the universe. We get on to, we get on to quantum mechanics. Now, I'm going by either comic books or the Virgil, whoever, people who did that video I linked. I'll link it again in the description below. They gave me the idea for this video, but it was going further, but they discussed this in detail. And quantum mechanics is basically electron can never become a proton, proton can never become electron. Cool, great. It's basically the floor for the universe. It's like, hey, this is what you could stand on. You can't contradict me, otherwise you're gonna have nothing to stand on. You'll be infinitely falling, which means everything will fall and start crashing in and everything like that. Well, when either the Big Bang, God, or whoever you believe in created the quantum mechanics, it's like these are rules. This is the floor. This is where as long as you're under my house, you follow my rules basically. And it's as long as it doesn't contradict the quantum formula, it can happen. Well, not happen all in one universe, but maybe another. You'll learn more next episode. But aside from that, we move on to what is the biggest thing and the talking point of this video: the universe. The universe is everything I've just listed all crammed into one, and the quantum mechanics keeps everything in like proportion and at least tries to keep it from crashing in on each other, such as gravity, cosmic rays, cosmic forces, solar light, darkness, etc., life, death. Moving on. You get that, and there's atoms and matter and everything like that. You get that. Cool. Well, the whole thing is that's everything. Now here's the downside to the universe. The universe is constantly expanding at an infinite rate. Sure, we may not notice it, but it's happening. And say humans manage to survive till 1,000 years from now, it would still be expanding. It could crush the Earth and everything in the universe and destroy itself, or it could just keep infinitely expanding until humans and Earth is long dead. But moving on, the universe is everything I've listed there, and it's bounded by the expansion. Now, you may be asking, well, what does this have to do with Marvel DC? Okay, well, Marvel DC, it's the same thing, except there's magical forces, there's extraterrestrial forces, there's interdimensional forces. There's a ton of things that define that, and basically there are beings that can be from another universe and crossover, and another timeline and crossover, and things like that. I don't think quantum mechanics supports time travel. It's possible, but you would be invoking the multiverse theory thing, and that is not something that you would want to invoke, because you wouldn't change or do anything. It'd be like, hey, sure, you went back in time, but it's not your timeline. It's multiverse theory. We will get into that later, or next episode. But anyways, guys, that's basically the Slim Dim, what you need to know about it. It's basically a ton of your choices are constructed by either the quantum theory or destiny or whatever you want to call it, and help make the universe you know. Anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning into this video. My name has been this has been Michael Lance. This has been Walker Productions, and please do like, share, and subscribe, and drop a comment down below. And I will see you all next time. And next video will be the multiverse theory, and then after that we got the omniverse, and then we're gonna be explaining something I'd like to call the creator. You can just call it akin to God, or just me, because I'm amazing. Anyway, thank you all for tuning into this video. Peace.